is my turn. Just want what you are. I am ready for your action. Just want what you are. You should cut off all distraction. It's all on you now. And just give me some reaction. Just want what you are. I like the way you move. Really wanna get.
It's another beautiful Sunday afternoon. This is Rubbin Minds. Welcome. My name is Ebuka Obuchi, and great to have you here once again. We're 1 week away from September, the almighty September, when we'll finally be beginning our list of ministers. A lot of people have waited for so long. It's going to be over 3 months by then since the present government came into power, and we are sure it will be in September. We don't know if it's the first or last week of September, but the good thing is that September is almost here, and a lot of people are excited to see the sort of shape that the present administration will be taking. But of course, it's Nigeria, and it wouldn't be Nigeria if there's no drama in every week. And as usual, we're going to be looking at the week that was. I have here with me Wale, Osunde, a lawyer, to discuss all of the happenings in the space called Nigeria in the last week. Thanks for being here today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Let's start off with something not even federal now. Let's start off with a former governor of Lagos State. He was in the news about a week ago, talking about a website that cost about 78 million naira to open and all of that, and he gave his explanations to that effect. And there's been a lot of talk about the fact that people fighting him are coming from his own party. His former godfather and former partners. He launched a book. None of the APC bigwigs were there to attend as well. And now we've heard talks about a contract he awarded being revoked. There was a concession for the shopping mall in Falomo, which is a place in Ikoyi, and it was allegedly awarded for 50 million naira from what we hear, and the present governor Ambode has revoked it to review. A lot is happening with former Governor Fashola now. What's your thoughts on all of that?
Well, thank you very much. I think the very honest truth is that it's all been politics, 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 and that's the very honest truth. I think a lot of games are playing out right now between the politicians, especially as it affects the former governor. And then you notice that his book launch, was it 3 days ago or thereabout, none of the big wigs were there, like you said. And that goes to show that indeed a lot of games are actually up their sleeves. And then I only know that it's one healthy thing for our democracy to thrive. That's the truth, because nobody heard about all these contract thing and all that before the elections. But now that the elections are over, and then you have people in places and all that, they're now revealing a number of other things that we probably do not even know about before now, because nobody would have thought that a contract would have gone for about 78 million naira to upgrade a website or what have you. But then all of these things playing out are just are born out of politics, or should I say political plays, But then I know that they would probably come back, because I know their party will be working very hard to ensure that all of these do not go so terribly far before they.
But is it really fair to blame politics solely for all of this? I mean, we don't have any confirmations on anything. We know that, like you said, he launched a book. His friends supposedly were not there. There's a lot that's happening with him at the moment. But at the same time, these allegations, are they not fair? I mean, considering this sort of how wide some of them are. I mean, look at the concession, for example. If it's true that you gave a concession for 50 years, I'm not sure how long exactly the contract says, and it was allegedly worth 50 million naira. I mean, that should raise a few eyebrows naturally, shouldn't it?
That's right. Well, one thing is this. I think this is a serious challenge on the current governor. And to be very honest with you, there has to be details of all of these contract awards and what have you. We really need to know in clear terms the undertones of the contracts that were awarded and all that. Because now, you just came out, you told us, oh, come on, I'm revoking this very contract because of so reasons and all that. It's not enough, because we are still not clear. We're still in the dark of certain, should I say, underlying instruments of these contracts award. And so we really need to know, one, when was the contract awarded? Who were the contractors? How much have they been paid? How much are they still going to pay? How much are they actually remitting to the government, if they are remitting any monies and all that? And why is the government of today, why is the Ambode government thinking that it is very imperative to actually revoke this contract in the first place? So these are questions that the current government should be ready to answer, because we cannot just say, oh, come on, I'm revoking this one, probably because you are not in alignment with the government, that handed over to you. It's not enough. You need to come out and tell Nigerians reasons or Lagosians why you are actually revoking all of those contracts. In any case, I'm not going to be against the revocation of a contract that is not properly awarded in the first place. So if indeed, we have instruments to show or evidence to show that the contracts were not awarded, in line with international best practices, and I mean in line with the standards for which you award contracts, then of course they could be revoked. No problem about that.
People have said that these are mere allegations and maybe the governor shouldn't have made them public before maybe being sure. I don't know, is it right that he made it public? Should we know these things?
I mean, obviously we need to know. We should know about them. And that's exactly why I'm actually challenging the government of the day, that they should give us more facts. We need to know more facts about this whole thing. So it doesn't seem like, okay, they are kind of witch-hunting the man, to use the language of the politicians now. So it doesn't look like a witch-hunting kind of thing. That's exactly why we need to know. We need to have more details so that we can actually be carried along, with the activities of government. So indeed, if the contracts were not awarded properly, of course they could be revoked. But if indeed it's all politics and politics and politics, then that's not going to be too fair on the former governor.
Yeah. Speaking of taking things away from Governor Fashola now, and speaking with regards to my introduction about ministers coming into government, something that a lot of governors have gotten flack for recently is the fact that they haven't appointed commissioners. Very few state governors have done that. I don't know if they're up to half of the 36 states who have done that. And Lagos State being one of them. And unlike Mr. President, who gave his explanations, even if he didn't give it to Nigerians, he did that in an international newspaper. People like Governor Body haven't really said anything about, when these commissioners are going to come, why there's a delay, why it's taking this long. Shouldn't they be telling us these things as well?
Yes, I agree they should be telling us all of this. They should at least carry us along so that we can actually know what the government owes for us. So we can actually know what our government is planning for us, for the people. One thing that I know actually is that the government of the day, under the leadership of President Buhari, I think they are actually putting structures in place to ensure that indeed we have quality leadership, and they are trying to ensure that we have things back in shape. And I think the man is just taking his time, a step at a time. It's not bad to do so, only that they should not take too long, because we need to have a...
How long will be too long for you? Is September a good time?
I think September is not bad, but it should not be more than September to have at least certain people, because we need, for example, the Attorney General to prosecute some people, some looters and all that, so we need the Secretary to the federal government. I mean, the Secretary to the government of the federal, the SGF. We also need such a person, because he's supposed to be the life wire of the government, And so, because a number of letters will also be coming in and coming out of government, and this is somebody that is supposed to be in charge of all of these things, bring them to the attention of the president and all that. So we need some very key elements, key instruments for government to function properly. And so the president should not take so much time, because we can understand anyways, because the expectation is so high. That's the truth. And then I know that the president is trying to take it a step at a time so that it would have capable ends, and then people that have credible integrity, to work with him in this administration.